The icy wind cut through the December night like a sharpened blade, howling against the crooked frame of the tiny, weather-worn house that stood at the edge of Willow Creek. Inside, the warmth from a flickering wood stove barely managed to keep the cold at bay. Yet the small living room, dimly lit by a lone floor lamp and cluttered with toys, books, and a frayed sofa, felt like a sanctuary compared to the bleakness outside. Ethan Cole wrapped a threadbare blanket tighter around his 5-year-old daughter, Lily, who had fallen asleep with a half-eaten grilled cheese in her hand. Her cheeks were pink from the warmth of the stove, and her tiny chest rose and fell rhythmically. Ethan brushed a wisp of her curly blonde hair from her forehead and sighed, exhaustion etched in every line of his face. It had been another long day, working double shifts at the auto repair shop, then picking Lily up from daycare, juggling bills. That never seemed to shrink. He hadn't eaten dinner yet himself. The fridge held only a carton of milk and some eggs. Still, he was grateful. They had each other, and for Ethan, that meant everything. He was about to doze off himself when a knock sounded at the door. A knock at this hour? Ethan gently set Lily's grilled cheese on the coffee table and rose, hesitating. The knock came again, softer this time, almost hesitant. He peeked through the window and saw a girl, no, a young woman, standing alone in the snow. She wore a long coat clearly expensive, but it hung awkwardly on her like she wasn't used to it. Her boots were stylish but muddy, and her eyes, he could see even through the frosted glass, looked lost. He opened the door just enough to speak. "Can I help you?" "I'm sorry," she said, her voice quivering. "My car broke down a mile back. My phone's dead. I didn't know where else to go." Ethan glanced behind her. No car in sight, just snow swirling like ghosts under the street lamp. He didn't want to bring a stranger in. He had Lily to think about, but something in the girl's eyes, raw fear mixed with humility, made him pause. "You can come in for a bit," he said, stepping aside. "Just until we figure something out." "Thank you," she breathed, brushing snow off her shoulders as she stepped inside. "I'm Emily." "Ethan, and that's Lily," he said, motioning to the sleeping child. Emily's eyes softened. "She's beautiful." They stood awkwardly for a moment before Ethan handed her a cup of warm water. He had no tea to offer. She took it gratefully, warming. Her fingers, they talked a little, cautiously at first. Emily said she'd been traveling to visit friends upstate but got lost after taking a wrong turn. Her GPS failed, and when her car broke down, she panicked. "I didn't expect to find anything out here," she said. "This place, it's like a storybook." Ethan chuckled. "Storybook with overdue utility bills." Emily laughed, a clear sound that lit up the small room. For a moment, it didn't feel like a cold night in a struggling home. It felt like something else. Something warm. He set up a makeshift bed for her on the couch with extra blankets. Before long, both she and Lily were asleep. Ethan stayed up, watching the snow fall. He couldn't explain why he'd let her in. Just a gut feeling, a reminder of something his late wife used to say. Kindness doesn't need a reason. It only needs a heart. The next morning, Ethan woke, early to shovel the path outside. Emily was already up, standing at the stove, awkwardly trying to make scrambled eggs. "You didn't have to," he said, surprised. "Least I could do," she smiled. "You saved me from freezing." Lily toddled out of her room, rubbing her eyes. She looked at Emily and asked, "Are you a princess?" Emily laughed. "No, sweetie, just someone who needed a little help." The day passed quietly. Ethan tried to get her car towed, but the nearest garage couldn't come until the following day. Emily didn't seem bothered. She played with Lily, helped around the house, even folded laundry. She moved like someone unused to doing such things but eager to learn. By evening, Ethan found himself enjoying her company more than he wanted to admit. It had been years since he'd laughed like that, or shared a meal with someone who wasn't 5 years old. Then came the knock at the door again. This time, it was a sleek black SUV. 2 men in suits stepped out, one calling, "Miss Emily!" "Thank God!" Ethan's eyebrows shot up. Emily looked sheepish. I didn't want to say, she said, almost in a whisper. I'm Emily Davenport. My father owns Davenport Global. The name hit him like a wave. $1 billion empire. Hotels, tech, philanthropy. Ethan felt suddenly small. Why didn't you say anything? He asked. Because I didn't want to be that girl, she said. I wanted to know what it felt like. To be normal. To be cared for without strings. She turned to Lily, kneeling. Thank you for letting me stay in your castle, Lily giggled, hugging her. Emily stood and faced Ethan. You didn't have much, but you gave me everything last night. I'll never forget that. She left that night, promising to stay in touch. Weeks passed. Winter began to thaw. Life returned to normal. Almost. Then one day, a letter arrived. A formal envelope, sealed in gold. Inside, an invitation. Ethan and Lily were invited to the grand opening of the Davenport Community Center, a new facility built in Willow Creek, funded entirely by Emily Davenport. When they arrived, the center was stunning. Library, daycare, food pantry, even a garage with new tools. Emily greeted them at the door, dressed simply, her eyes shining. This is for you, she said, for the kindness that changed me. Ethan couldn't speak. Tears welled in his eyes. Emily reached down, taking Lily's hand. There's more. I want to set up a trust for her education. And if you're open to it, maybe help you expand your garage. Give you back what you gave me. He looked at her, speechless. Why? She smiled. Because kindness doesn't need a reason. It only needs a heart. And in that small town, what began as a single night of compassion bloomed into a legacy of love, generosity, and second chances. A reminder that the smallest act of humanity can echo farther than we ever imagine. The story is now crafted and saved. If you'd like to expand it further, adjust scenes, or refine dialogue, just let me know you.